Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my ADHLers. Happy Friday. Happy Friday from my neck of the woods. I'm sitting in a park. It is nice and breezy out here in about 60s, yeah, 50s to 60 degrees. A little breezy. It's our last week, a full week of April. We'll be heading into May soon. This is my Fridays with Friday chat with Abby. So how are you guys doing? I haven't decided on what time I'm going to be on yet, so I'm on a little early today. I did say about maybe 5 to 6, but I was going to decide what exactly the time will be because of the weather, and the weather's getting nicer now, so people will be out and about. So I just happen to be out and about today. Actually, I just came from work. We had some training. So how are you guys today? Anyways, for those of you who will be joining me now, I say thank you. For those of you who will be watching later, I say thank you as well. So just going to be chatting. And like I said, it's not going to be a structured show on Friday. So it's just a basic chatting. So as you can see the title, it says, how do you handle stress in the moment? Okay, I'm one of those people where I'm like in a little bit of OCD. So I'm not bad like some people who are like really bad OCD, but I'm one of those people who are like, I like, if I know something's going to give me a hard time, I like to prepare. I like to have everything ready. If I have to do something listing or show and tell, I want to make sure everything is there, and I go over it over and over and over again. So I make sure that my everything will be displayed right, and I'll look as professional as possible. I do make provisions for something that may go wrong that is completely out of my control, but I do try to make sure that at least I get everything done, everything that I can control, and the rest of it, whatever goes haywire goes haywire. So and I say that to mainly it's like, how do you handle stress in a moment? Like if you had everything planned and when it's time to go, sorry, I keep looking this way. And if it's time to like really want to say, hit the word go or go live, and if things go wrong, or like I say, you happen to be at somewhere at a play or something is going on, and you're supposed to be at that point, you're supposed to be at your best behavior, your best performance ever. Like if you're an athlete and you work so hard for that Olympic moment or championship moment, and something doesn't go right before that moment, how do you mentally get yourself back into the zone to say, okay, I know things are like getting a little crappy, and I know this person's supposed to be here, and I know they're supposed to bring this, and I know it's supposed to be. How do you get yourself back and talk yourself back into something and get yourself ready for the moment? And sometimes things will, even if you do get yourself psyched up for the moment, things might not go, smoothly in the first couple of minutes, and you can finally get yourself to like, okay, let me just recapture myself and get to that point. So basically, it's like, try to get yourself, just breathe it through, like I said before. Breathe it through, take a deep breath. You just, like I talk about deep breathing, you breathe in slowly and you hold it, and then you breathe out. Like I said before, like you're pulling, blowing away a tiny little feather or low chick where it's like you just slowly blowing away, and that way your heart rate is going down and you're easing your thoughts and everything and getting yourself to where it needs to be. I say this because the fact that on Tuesday I was doing my first show and tell. Well, I did on usually while I get ready for health fair, I do that, but I was doing that because I wanted to do something different on Tuesday when I did my show about how to get ready for your emergency, what to have your emergency kit, and I needed everything to go the way I had planned. So I had everything fixed up the night before, and I had everything ready. I looked it over, I practiced over and over, and then as I was about to come on the camera, I think I kind of closed my screen. And the camera, we couldn't get the camera going. And I called my son, and we're back and forth trying to get that done. And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be on 7:30. They expect me to be on 7:30. And oh my goodness, then it's like 7 o'clock, sorry. And I was like 7:01 and 7:02. Because I usually, when I get home on Tuesdays, I'm usually home by 6 o'clock, and I get everything set and ready to go. Everything will be ready to go the night before. And I get everything ready, and then I just have it ready to go for like maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes prior to, because I want to make sure I work out all the kinks before. And that wasn't working. And then finally my friend said, just turned off the computer and put it back on. And then, of course, that worked. And I got on. Excuse me. So, and I finally got on, and it was like trying to get everything, and it took me a couple of minutes to get flustered. And I said, okay, make sure they can't see you flustered. Make sure, you know, you go and do it. Make sure you have to look as professional as possible, and making sure and all that, and all of that in the back of my head. And I being told, like, don't say you know, sorry for being late and this and that, because then after a while I say, you know what, let them see me flustered. Let them see me and then know that I'm not perfect. Because I see people even on TV, and you're watching a TV show, live shows, and things go wrong, and they're fighting so hard to get everything back to where it needs to be, and they go for a commercial, and they're on commercial for a long time. I mean, the case of the Oscars, they were on commercial for almost like 10 minutes. You know, it was like one commercial, and you could tell that they were probably like panicking in the back and trying to get everything back to where it's supposed to be. So it's just so we come back to it. Just remember, you're not perfect. You're not a machine. Things are going to go wrong. They're totally beyond your control when you plan so much for something to happen. One person may not show up. They may not bring the product that you need to really get all that. And you'll be sitting there and you try to smile and make it look pretty for the audience and all. So you can only do so much. So don't be hard on yourself. Especially if you're OCD like me, don't be hard on yourself. You can plan everything A, B, C, and D. And then when it's showtime, D will go back to A. Sometimes your paper that you had planned to talk from, you can't find it, or the very thing that you're trying to look at is not there. So in real life and on Facebook or social media, and you have to do this. I mean, of course, if you know, those Olympic athletes where you have no other choice but to be perfect. Like if you do gymnastics where you have to do the landing and you have to do it as perfectly as you can. But even then, don't look at it and say, oh my goodness, I can't believe things will happen. Okay, so just breathe and say, you know what, this is what it is. Sometimes you can also tell the audience, you know, things are beyond our control, technical difficulties and all that too, but we'll try to make it work. Like I would say, we'll go to parties, you invite people, we're having function at our association, and you invite so many people and you expect so many people to be there. And so many people, you're like, you know what, we're just going to make the best of the situation. Okay, let people say, oh, I went on Abby Tyler's Healthy Living, and oh my God, and I don't know what she was doing there, and it just didn't. Let them say it. I went on John Doe, this and all that. It wasn't there, and let them say it. You're not perfect. Okay, you're not perfect. You can only do everything. You can plan as much as you want to plan, and something may or may not go wrong, and then you just have to regroup. You just have to regroup and get to where you need to get to. That's all. Don't be so hard on yourself. For us OCDers, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm not sleepy. I just the way the camera is stationed over here. It is the first time I'm going live on my phone on this on Abby Tyler's Healthy Living page. So I usually did my phone before when I started doing that. So my usual titles and all that too is nothing. Like I said, on Friday it would not be as structured, but of course I still put some things down so I can look it up. So the weather is nice where I am. I hope it's nice where you are. You know, I'm looking forward to spring as soon as winter can finally let go of spring so we can really enjoy the spring weather. But I'm at the park. You can see all the beautiful trees and all that. And I love the pink flowers all the way in the background there. I love the colors when they're blooming at the beginning of the weather, the spring weather. This is my favorite time of the year. Like I said, when it gets a little warmer, it feels almost like I'm back home where it's like the weather, tropical weather. But of course with seasonal allergies and all that. So, but anyway, so don't be too hard on yourself. Prepare as much as you can, practice as much as you can, and then whatever is going to go wrong, just work through it. Okay, work through it. If the audience sees that, okay, it is not 100% perfect, who cares? They're not perfect either. Okay. So, and it wasn't just something that had to do with the show that happened on Tuesday. It mainly the fact that when I'm like I said, I can be like my biggest critic. I can be my biggest critic. And sometimes I'd be like, oh my God, I should have done this. Oh my God, I should have said this. Oh my God, I should have done this. And all that was like, as I'm getting older, I'm giving myself some grace. I'm giving myself some grace and saying, nope, you've done this many years. Relax. Nobody died. Relax and go, and then you just do it, and then next time around you'll be just as good. All right, so anyways, don't want to talk your head off. I brought a lot of good shows to you guys in April. Please go back and watch all my April shows. Talked about I think the most important one was the one about making sure you prepare for any in the event of an emergency, everything else you want to look it up there, speak to your doctors about that. So I did a show every Tuesday, so you can go back and read and look it over. Anyone that was too long, you can go back and you can always read it and watch it in a way where, like, I watch something and I'll come back and watch the rest of it, okay? Because whenever you see like a 15-minute show or 30-minute show, a lot of hours were put into putting it together. So the audience only sees like the 15 minutes or 20 minutes when I'm on, but I try to do my best. That's part of my perfectionism, to